Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash, Season 5. So before this season of The Flash has even kicked off, we already know about a decent amount of villains that will be showing up this season. Well, at least characters that are villains in the comics. Who knows if all of them will actually be full-on villains on the show. Obviously, we know that Cicada will be there as the big bad for this season, and we got that tease of him in the trailer that we got from Comic-Con this year. And then only like a few days ago, like at least under a week ago, we got the news that Spin would be showing up as a gender-flipped version of the character from the comics, and will be a social media influencer who is looking to benefit her career by taking advantage of the emergence of Nora Allen in Central City. But in this video, we will be going over the introduction of a new character who will be a full-on villain by the sounds of it, but just for the one episode by the looks of it. But who knows if he will show up again later on than just this initial episode. So once again, like most of our villain breakdowns that we do, this information is coming from that #show.com, so I will leave the link to their article on all of this in the description down below. But the villain that is the subject to this character breakdown is that of Ragdoll. No, not Ragman from Arrow, but Ragdoll. Now, Ragdoll is otherwise known as Peter Merkel and was actually a villain of Jay Garrick's initially from back in the day. So I wonder if that means we might see the return of Jay for an episode, which involves this character of Ragdoll. That is something that we will just have to wait and find out, I guess. But here is the description of the character of Peter Merkel, aka Ragdoll, for this season of The Flash. Peter is in his 20s and described as an incredibly emotional, damaged criminal who has the power to bend out of shape and fit his whole body into small spaces. As he is enjoying his criminal activities, Team Flash will be challenged by the Ragdoll in shocking ways as his sick plan is revealed. The breakdown specifies that they would ideally like to get actual contortionists or dancers or any kind of performers who are able to contort their bodies in very disturbing ways. So yeah, wow, this sounds like a pretty damn interesting character, to be honest, to see on the show. And personally, I would love it if this was the character or villain that we would be dealing with in a possible Halloween episode for the show. Just having a character that can just do, well, some pretty creepy stuff would be great for a Halloween episode of The Flash. But it does say that Peter is emotionally damaged, so this will most likely link back to his childhood or something like that. Or it could be linked to a major arc, overarching plot, might I say, around this season, the various metas and different people with powers that are showing up. The coolest part about this character and the most interesting thing to see go down with him most likely in the show will just be the way in which he is able to bend his body out of its natural shape in order to fit into, small spaces. This will be, well, just something different than what we have seen before on the show. I do find it cool that they are actually looking for actual contortionists or people with a skill that would suit the role. We tend to not get like massive speaking roles with the villains of the week from time to time. However, this role seems like it might need the ability of like decent acting because they're going to be like emotionally scarred and stuff like that. So they might just look for contortionists in the department for maybe stunt work and stuff like that, but who knows. But who is Ragdoll in the comics? Like, what's his deal? Well, in the comics, Peter Merkel was born with a fairly unique condition known as triple jointedness. So I'm sure most of you have heard of being double jointed. I'm sure some of you out there are double jointed in multiple places or maybe in just your finger or something like that. Well, Peter took that to the next level. When he was younger, he found work in a small carnival as a contortionist and a dancer. But then that carnival ended up closing and leading to Peter being out of work. And this is essentially where he was led, down the path to his life of crime. One example of Merkel's early work was using his gift, if you want to call it, and hiding inside some toy boxes that were being loaded into a store. And once the store was closed, he robbed it from the inside. So this could be an example of what we see on the show. For example, there could be a robbery with like no forced entry or anything like that, with no clues as to how someone could have gotten in, and that's because your boy Ragdoll, might I say, was already in the store because he hid in a box or something like that, all squeezed up in hiding. Ragdoll in the comics was actually one of the first costumed villains as well, so it'd be interesting to see if they do anything with the costume on the show. I think they should. It'd be really weird, especially if it's a Halloween episode. That could be really creepy. But Peter Merkel actually wasn't the only Ragdoll in the comics. His son, like we've seen in other iterations with other characters, well, his son, Peter Merkel Jr., went on to take over the mantle of Ragdoll when he grew up, and this dude is just messed up. Like, he just takes it to the next degree. Ragdoll Jr., as we're going to call him throughout the comics, had indicated that his father was fairly abusive towards him due to him not being double jointed and having the ability that his father had, like the ability wasn't handed down, like we see with some other skills, like we're seeing this season with Nora Allen having her father's powers. It is even played off that Ragdoll had a Well, a relationship with his sister, yes, in that way. I'd rather not say the term to avoid some demonetization, so YouTube, don't kill me. Now, as he got older, Ragdoll Jr. had his, do I say this? This won't get me demonetized, this is like a medical term. He got his genitalia snipped off and replaced all of his joints, so like his knees and all of that, with prosthetics in order to mimic his father's abilities, but to a greater level. So he replaced all of his different parts so he could like bend and twist in really weird, like just creepy ways. Like I don't even want to imagine this in real life. It's just next level creepy. But seriously, mate, this dude needs Jesus. Like, he just needs some help. Seriously, I'm getting the creeps just reading all of this out to you guys. Actually, this Ragdoll Jr. dude needs Bebo. Someone give this dude Bebo. I think Bebo's the only one that can deal with this dude. But it does look like they could be basing the character, for the most part, off the original version of the character from way back in the day, from the comics. But then adding in some of that, that childhood abuse or trauma stuff from the second version of the character, just to mix things up a bit and make the character, a bit more creepy. As the description of the character does say, the character does have a sick plan. So you have to have a sick mind to come up with a sick plan. So that could be what they are doing with the character on the show. The character is only supposed to be in one episode, as I said before, but that is just for now. They could do something where he shows up later on, or early in this season, might I say, and then comebacks later on in the season. We'll have to wait and see, though. That happens sometimes. Like, you get a villain, like, oh, okay, well, that's it. We're not going to be dealing with them for the rest of the season. And then, boom, they show up in, like, episode 21 randomly for either, like, a joint venture or just to, be a thorn in Team Flash's side towards the end. So, who knows if he'll just be in this episode or show up again. But if this is a Halloween episode, which I hope it is, because this villain would suit it really well, then just expect him to be in this one episode. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think of this dude coming in? He's most likely just going to be a villain of the week, but he sounds like he's going to be creepy as hell and could be like a cool sort of visual thing with all the different contortionist abilities and stuff like that. So just let me know all of your opinions in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.